Welcome back to the Cato Solicitors video series about solicitors and instructing solicitors and how we distinguish ourselves from other solicitors firms and so on. And today I'm going to talk very briefly about costs, legal costs, and how costs escalate, and how they can escalate very quickly at the start of a claim. Now, you don't have to be a lawyer or know anything about law to save yourself a very large amount in legal costs, and the way you do it is as follows. It's quite hard work, but it's not difficult. Now, all lawyers, particularly dispute resolution lawyers, they need your story. So if you've had a dispute, we need the full story. If you've had a dispute in a business relationship, for example, we need the full story of that business relationship and how you got together, how you decided to trade, and how you then fell apart. So I'll give you an example. If two people came together and they decided they were going to form a partnership, they were going to trade through a limited company, and then they fall out, there's no shareholders agreement, so the lawyers and ultimately the court have to try and work out what the resolution is. It enormously helps if we have the full history of the relationship between those two partners, and in the most detailed way possible. For example, when the two partners were talking about forming this business and what they were going to do with it, they probably had a lot of discussion between them and came to agreements about how they were going to set it up, how much they were going to take out of it if it became profitable, what would happen to the assets. So, for example, they might be, if say they were setting up a new taxi business, they might have an agreement that they would put their cars, their photocopiers and so on into this company, and if it fell apart they would take back what they put into it. Obviously that might not be very relevant after 10 years, but it might be relevant near the start. Now, those types of agreements, they might all be in emails, they might be in texts, they might be in WhatsApp messages, and it's very, very difficult for a third party to construct, well, it's impossible for a third party such as a solicitor to access your emails, texts and WhatsApps. It's difficult for a third party, or it's very time consuming for a third party such as a solicitor to extract your story from you. So there we are, it's hard work, but it's very easy. What the lawyer wants is a full, detailed story, as best as you can remember, with all the documents that are part of that story. And if you can get that together before you go to see the solicitor, you'll reduce the initial costs by about half.